I'm 37 years old, and I live in Central Arkansas, and I first discovered speed seduction right after my horrible divorce in 2001. I was horribly depressed. I was raised in a very religious household. I wasn't allowed to date. I was just told, someday God will provide a mate for you, and well, this woman met me and wanted to marry me, and I thought that's what was happening. But you're also supposed to stay married for life, so I didn't know what to do, and I was very depressed. I knew nothing about handling women or how to deal with women, and I actually got to the point where I was having intrusive suicidal thoughts and had to check myself into the psych ward. I had no success with women. I never dated at all. I'd slept with 2 women prior to being married, but they were both prostitutes. I felt like I was the antidote to attraction. No, overweight, no social skills, severe social anxiety. Back then, I still had really bad acne, so yeah. I read your website, and I recognized the embedded commands in bold in the advertising, and I remember reading it thinking, oh my God, how stupid is this guy that he thinks this is going to work on me? So I shut down my laptop, and I went outside to smoke. While I was outside smoking, I started daydreaming and fantasizing about having all these beautiful, hot women wanting my body and stuff. And then suddenly I realized, oh my God, that's what he said in his ad. And I realized it had worked on me, even though I knew what he was doing. So I ran inside and I ordered the home study courses as soon as I could get my computer rebooted and back on the website. Since my ex-wife is number 3, I'm up to around 15 or 16. I've actually lost count. So just using your stuff, 13. Well, actually, after my divorce, the main thing I wanted was to learn to never be manipulated by women again, because my ex-wife used me. My divorce cost me about $100,000 total, and I'm still in debt from that. And I definitely have that now from having learned speed seduction. No one manipulates me. I'm aware when someone tries to manipulate me, and I just don't fall for it. I understand how women really work inside and how to talk to them, and more importantly, how to talk to them the way they want to be talked to. I had no clue about this before the material. I didn't think anyone would want me. Like I said, I'm very overweight. Back then, when I was first starting, I still had bad acne, had severe social anxiety, no social skills. But after a while, you learn, first I didn't believe it that it would work, but then after a while, I learned that not only does this work, women crave to feel the things I can get them to feel. They want it, they need it, basically. And the more I talked to her, the more interested she became. It took about 3 visits total before we finally got together, but I think about the second visit she would start, sitting on my lap and touching me all over and stuff, and she would hang out with me to the point that the other girls would have to come get her and drag her to the stage just about when it was time for her to dance. Third night I went back, and this happened over about a week. I got there and she saw me. She was like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. I was afraid you weren't going to come back. Please give me your phone number. And I was like, oh, you're not going to call me. But she's like, no, I will. Give me your number. And then sure enough, the next day she called me and she wanted to get together, and we met at a hotel room. It was very surreal. It was like, wow, I can't believe that happened. Yeah, it was just amazing. I still, to this day, have trouble believing. It's like, oh yeah, that really happened to me. I was talking to her through an online dating thing or something, I don't remember exactly. And I was using some of the languaging tools, and we've been talking for a couple of weeks, and we exchanged phone numbers, talked on the phone, and then one night she said, after we've been talking maybe 2 weeks, she says, could I have your address? I want to send you an updated picture of me, and my scanner's not working. I was like, okay, sure. She lived like 9 hours away from me, by the way. The next morning, this was like 10 o'clock at night, like the next morning at like 7, there's my door rings, and it's her. She drove all night to come see me. I really did not realize how powerful this could be until that happened. Listen, I don't care what your excuse is. You cannot be worse off than me. Overweight, pimples, social anxiety, complete geek, whatever your situation is, you have to be better off than me. So if you are ready to handle this part of your life, if you're ready to get control of this issue of dealing with women, I mean, my divorce cost me like $100,000. What is that compared to, $400 for this course? It's worth it. It's worth every penny.